Good morning children, this is Suvarna. In previous video, lesson 2, friction, part 1, we discussed lab activity and observing the variation of friction. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about friction types and factors affecting friction. First of all, friction can be classified into 4 types. First one, static friction. Second one, sliding friction. Third one, rolling friction. And fourth one, fluid friction. First one, static friction. The ball on ground, it at rest. At this stop, static friction is acting on it. The frictional force that exists between two surfaces so long as they are relatively at rest when on external force act it's called static friction. There no actual movement of the body in static friction. In static friction force of static friction is equal to applied force. Static friction ends with the beginning of sliding of the object at rest. When we push the ball, it starts moving. The frictional force present when one body moves slowly straight, the another body is known sliding friction. One body slides, sliding friction is less than the static friction. So, sliding friction less than static friction. The force of sliding friction is equal to constant pull force. You must have seen children, suitcase and other pieces of luggage fitted with the rollers. You can sure pull the such pieces of luggages. Let us find out. The rollers reduce friction and roll on the object on its rolling rollers. It is always easier to roller than to slide a body over another. That is the reason it is convenient pulling the luggage fitted with the rollers. The force of friction between the rollers and the body on the surface is called the rolling friction. Rolling friction is the much less than the sliding friction. The rolling friction is the smaller than the sliding friction. Sliding friction replaced in most machines by rolling by the use of the ball bearings. Common examples are the use of ball bearings between hubs and axle of ceiling fans and bicycles. Next, let us go to the activity factors affecting friction. Activity 3, effect of roughness on frictional force. First of all, see the children picture. Set up an inclined plane on the horizontal floor. Use a wooden board and inclined plane. Put a mark at any point A on the inclined plane. Now, let a pencil shell or ball move down from this point. Note the distance covered by the pencil shell from the bottom of the inclined plane to point where it comes to a stop. Now spread a cloth over the floor. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in the cloth. Try again with pencil shell. Note down the distance, children. What are your observations from these experiments? In which case is the distance covered maximum? In which case is the distance covered minimum? Why is the distance covered by the pencil shell different on different surfaces? Discuss the result. So, if you do the activity by replacing the cloth with white marble surface or glass surface, can you predict the distance covered by the pencil shell? You can conclude that smoothness or roughness of the surface of both the floor and the pencil shell could affect the distance travelled by it. Though many surfaces look like perfect planes, there exists many ups and downs. Up and downs means irregularities of surface on them. So, irregularities of two surfaces in contact. Friction is caused by the irregularities on the two surfaces with or in contact. Irregularities on the two surfaces lock into one another when we attempt to move on any surface. We have to apply a force to overcome interlocking. On rough surface, there exist a large number of irregularities means up and downs. On rough surface, there exists a large number of irregularities than smooth surface. So, hence the force of friction is greater of a rough surface is involved. So, force of friction is greater if a rough surface is involved, but force of friction is lesser if a smooth surface is involved. So, the difference is rough surface and smooth surface is difference is force of friction is greater in rough surface, force of friction is smaller in smooth surface. So next activity 4. Let us do an activity 4. Effect of area of contact on frictional force, or frictional force is independent of the area of contact. First of all, tie a string around a wooden block and pull the wooden block by using a spring balance as shown in given picture. We use spring balance as a device to measure the applied force. So here we are using spring balance as a device to measure the applied force. What is applied force? Applied force means we are applying some force on the pulling the wooden block, that is applied force. In a spring balance, the spring is stretched by the applied force. The change in the length of the spring is proportional to the applied force. So the scale of the spring balance directly gives the applied force in Newton. And in some spring balance, the force is given in kilogram weights. So spring balance directly gives the applied force in newtons, but some in spring balance the force is given in kilograms weight also. Pull it to move the wooden block. Note down the reading of spring balance, children, carefully when the wooden block just begins to move. See the picture, children. How many forces act on the wooden block in the horizontal direction? Here, 2 forces act on the wooden block in the horizontal direction. See the children picture. In horizontal forces, 2 forces. In the horizontal direction, the surface area is larger. In a horizontal direction, the surface area is very larger. So, one is force of friction and the other is the force applied by you. So, in the horizontal direction, 2 forces acting on that block. One is force of friction, small f, and another one is force applied by you, capital F. The applied force is equal to the maximum limit of the frictional force at the instant when the wooden block just begins to move. So, just begins to move, but they act in opposite direction. We can note, children, its value by observing the reading of the spring balance. Just to move the wooden block, we must and should observing the value in spring balance. So in this way we can measure the maximum frictional force offered by the surface. So in this way means horizontal direction. Horizontal direction we can measure the maximum frictional force offered by the surface. So next, now turn the wooden block upright as shown in given picture, so that the area of contact with the floor becomes smaller. So in upright picture, in vertical direction, the wooden block surface area is very smaller. So repeat the same experiment and measure the frictional using the spring balance. So how does the frictional force vary with the change in area of contact? The frictional force appears to be the same in both cases, irrespective of area of contact of the surface. So the frictional force is independent of the area of contact. So in horizontal direction, the brick surface area is very large. In vertical direction, second picture, the brick surface area is very small. But frictional force is independent of area of contact. So in both cases, the frictional force appears in both cases. Area of contact of the surface is same. So the frictional force appears to be the same in both cases irrespective of area of contact of the surface. So the frictional force is independent of area of contact, not dependent of the area of contact. Frictional force is not dependent of the area of contact, whether it is horizontal direction and vertical direction. Next, let us go to the activity 5. Effect of normal force on friction. In activity 4, keep a wooden block on the horizontal floor in vertical floor. We will do this activity now and pull it with spring balance attached to it and measure the frictional force. But now put another wooden block over the wooden block tied to the spring balance, or press it vertically with your hand and then measure the force of friction as described above. So same in horizontal direction break. Now put another wooden block over the wooden block tied to the spring balance, or press it vertically with your hand and then measure the force of friction. So is there any difference between frictional forces in two cases? If yes, why? From the above activity you can understand that when we add a wooden block to the exciting wooden blocks or apply a force by pressing it vertically, the normal force increases and hence we find there is an increases in the frictional force also. So here normal force increases and also we find here increases the frictional force. So the friction is proportional to the normal force. So friction proportional to the normal force. Proportional means inversely proportional here. Increase of two quantities are called inversely proportional. Here increase of two quantities means the vertical direction the normal force increases and hence we find there is increases the frictional force. Here normal force increases and also as well as frictional force also increases. So here friction is proportional to the normal force. So friction proportional normal